This week, from the internet, knowing is half the battle, and G.I. Joe fans know how to crowdfund. Joe fans, Sergeant slaughtered expectations, pushing the Skystriker past the finish line and unlocking 2 out of 3 stretch goal tiers. Meanwhile, no bones about it. Despite a controversial push in the final hours, Hasbro's Rancor joins Cookie Monster as only the second HasLab project to fail to reach its funding goal. And we need Dino Zord power now! Hasbro unveils their first non-NFT Zord Ascension Project release, the Dino Megazord. Is this one 1/44th scale toy worth its $165 price tag, or are fans mega bored with Mighty Morphin? Put that cookie down now! It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who knows when to fold 'em and when to hold 'em, Bill.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
So you held on the Proton pack, but you did not jump on board on the Rancor. You knew it was not going to happen this time.
I have a confession.
Okay, what is this?
I did back it knowing that it wouldn't fund just for the hell of it.
You did. What if it ended up? When did you fund, or when did you back it? How much time was left?
3 minutes.
With 3 minutes to go, and you're like, "There's no chance. Yeah. There's no chance."
I was like,
I'm
just gonna try it, and then
just so your name is in the history books.
They had some shenanigans going. Yeah, I just had to try, but they had some shenanigans where it kept going past.
We're gonna get into all of that, but first we got to start hot. We got to do our top 5 and 5. Let me pull up my timer. Should have done that ahead of time, but I didn't because I forgot. So I'm going to do it now. This is exciting. And how do we do this? There it goes. Okay. Let's do our top 5 and 5. So first story, the successful HasLab project, the G.I. Joe Skystriker. It made its goal. It got through 2 of the 3 tiers. Yes. Are you surprised? I was a little surprised.
I never realized they added Cobra Commander and a couple pilots to the program. So by the end of it, I was telling you it might be a good deal just for the fact of the amount of figures that would come with it if it was going to meet its full stretch goals. Mm-hmm. But I didn't back it. I actually fell asleep. I did. I was like, oh, go to bed.
It's just so weird to me that this 3 3/4 G.I. Joe line is not anything that's like currently happening. So to put out a product, a large, dollar price tag product, I mean, I guess the fans are always there, but why not something for the current G.I. Joe line?
Sure.
Second story, not as good news on the Star Wars front. Rancor did not reach its goal despite a mad dash in the last few hours. Do you suspect shenanigans in those final few minutes, final hours?
I don't think there were too many shenanigans. I think I think people were getting their orders in and they were still tallying them up after the fact. Mm-hmm. But it was funny to see the tally marks go backwards as they started refunding.
Well, that was weird. So I guess the only time we would have had a chance to see that is with Cookie Monster. But that was, people pointed to that and said, like, what is going on here? Were these real bids? Is that how it works?
Sure.
It starts to unsubscribe people and the number goes down.
Yeah, it was odd to see. It was
weird. It was very strange. We'll talk more about that a little bit later in the show. Next story, Proton Pack hit its final goal, the stand, something that I was excited for. So I'm very pleased that this is going to be a reality. And now it's like there's nothing really to watch it for anymore. We got everything that we could get, and it's just wait to get till 2023 now to get the actual thing.
And we're getting a decent box that it comes shipped in.
The box is pretty nice.
The crate looks beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. So that matches the box that the Proton wand came in.
Yes.
That was themed. I remember them saying that it was themed something in the movie, but I don't remember there being a box that we saw. Like the Proton pack and wand were not in a box. They were just out in the lab, right?
They were on a table. I'm sure
Yeah.
in some corner of that Egon's basement lab, there was a crate.
Yeah.
There was a blink and you miss it moment.
Sure. Well, maybe it hit the cutting room floor like seems like a lot of content did. Next story. Let's start this. The a fan first Friday for Power Rangers this week. It was billed as mostly for the Zord Ascension Project, Zap. But they did throw in a Lightning Collection figure, a red version of Ecliptor, which fans were already picking apart because it was missing some of the detail. So Hasbro going for the cheap repaint route. But you can't do that with Power Ranger fans because they are sticklers for the details. But Zord Ascension Project, we saw this a month or so ago for HasCon or whatever lab. What do they call it? PulseCon. PulseCon. This was the black and gold version, was an NFT thing. Whatever. This is the correct colored version of the Dino Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Big price tag, lots of detail. Do we need another Dino Megazord? Are fans clamoring for another version? We'll talk about that a little bit too, later. Right? A little bit, but that sort of like has to be. And we'll get into that. But our final top story of the week, Animaniacs Super 7. I wanted to talk about this because we saw pictures of them. They look good. Yeah. I was like, well, maybe these will be a little cheaper than the normal Super 7 Ultimate. Nope. $55 per Animaniac per mouse. What are they thinking? How many people are going to drop? It would be $150 to get the full set.
That's just the 3 Animaniacs, not even including Pinky and the Brain. So
okay, so it's $50 each, so 75 plus like 85, 90. Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of money. It's too much money. I do wonder like why they have to be this much. They don't come with a ton of accessories and they are so unnecessary. Like why not just make the base figure and make these cheaper?
They don't. Yeah. We'll get into that one because there's some things that they could do.
There are some things. All right. So that was our top 5 in 5. Now I'm going to relax a little bit. What's the story? What story sticks out to you the most this week? What do you want to dig into?
Let's stick in with Super 7 just because they had another reveal as well. With the party wagon.
Yeah,
the turtle
box.
Van. The box that had the dimensions of the actual wagon, which seems a little smaller than I was anticipating.
Really?
So it's 13 and a half inches tall. From base of the tire to the cannons on the top. Yeah. And then I think is it 20 inches long?
I don't know.
Thereabouts.
But you thought it was going to be bigger?
Given the price point, I thought it was going to be much larger.
That's what she said. I don't own any of the Super 7 figures, but I've seen the boxes. The boxes don't have any original artwork on them. I don't think they even have much artwork. It's more just the text and lots of different layers to the box.
Yes.
So this was interesting to me to see this unique artwork on here, which is not much like the figures inspired by the cartoon, but definitely not direct copies of the cartoon.
Right.
So cool, but just sort of like its own thing. And
why didn't they take the animation from the actual box art for the turtle wagon?
Well,
from the Playmates line,
the packaging,
and modify that.
Yeah, I mean it's like this is. I was trying to say like this isn't similar to the stuff they've already done, like in terms of the branding. So it's like they decided to just do whatever, and I guess they thought that this was gonna. Maybe this is why it cost so much. They paid a lot to the artist to make this unique design. It's just this whole thing is not doing it for me, and I haven't seen a ton of people, outwardly saying that they're supporting this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like we said, like this isn't a crowdfunding situation. It's going to happen. But what if like 12 people order this? Is that enough? I think they need at least 500, judging by the Fresh Monkey Fiction Santas. But maybe it's a different situation for Super 7.
Well, I mean, if they're selling it to e-tailers directly, I mean, there's your built-in.
That is a good point. Yeah. So like Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, they must have already committed.
Right.
You would think. But how many do you think they're buying just to sit on them?
I still can't believe the price compared to the Snake Mountain that they did years ago.
Right.
And it's just in line. And I know costs have gone up, but it's just a staggering amount.
It's cost prohibitive. It definitely is.
Yes.
But also, I don't know. I don't think I would have wanted this even if it was like half the price, just because one, I'm not collecting this line. And two, if I was going to get a party wagon, I'm going to wait to see what NEC is going to do.
Oh, sure.
I just feel like I have more skin in the game when it comes to NECA, and I would want to give them the opportunity because they do some unique stuff with the turtles. They have some innovative stuff. So like, I think that they might have a better product. I don't know. Maybe that's putting too much faith in NECA, but
yeah,
I don't know. So you're not going to jump on board on this.
Oh, no. I'll wait to see what NECA does, and then if nothing happens, nothing happens. I'm not like you said, I've got nothing in it. So
I'm fine with that. Playmates 1. I haven't been able to find the re-release, but I'm willing to drop the $35 or whatever that costs to get that if I ever find it.
I did get my what?
Oh no, go ahead.
My network stuff shipped.
Yes.
Finally came.
Yeah.
I went to go get the Rocksteady that was at Target, and it was gone. So someone else must have partook in that network sale because he was gone.
Yeah. They had to fill in that missing hole.
Yes. So now I've got to go to other avenues to purchase him.
So you only got the reaction figures.
I did.
Yeah.
I missed out. I missed out on those Ultimates.
Even Mutagen Man was gone by the time you got to the site.
They were all gone. They were all gone.
So I was able to order 2 Mutagen Mans and then Mutagen Men, and then I ordered the New Japan Pro Wrestling set, and I was really sleeping on those. They're $55. I wasn't going to jump in, regardless of how great they look because of the price, but they do look great. They look so much better in person than they do in the photos, which is really weird. Like what is it about these figures that just does not translate well to photography?
I don't know.
No, it's not a rhetorical question. I actually want an answer to that. I'm sure Super 7 wants an answer to that. They send out these samples to people and they take photos, and then they're not getting any new buyers from those photos because their product doesn't look good. But it looks good in person. So maybe we can get some nice photos of them and we can be Super 7's go-to people, and they'll send us all the free samples.
Freebies.
I didn't open the Mutagen Man. Probably just going to keep it in the box to eventually flip it. It's big. It looks solid. The accessories, like it has like a fishbone, like a couple small things, and they are really small. Like I think they're actually smaller than they should be to be in scale with the figure. It's a little weird. But
those accessories, weren't those supposed to go into his cavity?
Oh, is that what it is? You put them inside?
Yeah, you put them in and then you fill it with water. You fill it with either water or slime. At least originally.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a little more sense why they would be so small then.
Yeah.
The only Super 7 product that I have pre-ordered are the Major Wrestling Figure podcast figures, which are finally done, finally on the boat. Ringside is saying that we'll get them February. So it's still a couple more months to wait for those. They look pretty good. The Matt Cardona figure, Zack Ryder, if you're familiar with his WWE days, looks definitely the best of the two. The Brian Myers figure, something with the face doesn't look super accurate to the person it's representing, which is too bad because the Mattel figure that they released for him actually looks really good. So it's too bad if we have to end up doing a head swap on these $55 figures. But
yeah,
it is what it is. So you put some money down on the Rancor, but it didn't get funded.
No.
What do you think? You think that's the end for the Rancor? Do you think we'll see him another way? Hasbro find a way to put him out there, or is that it? Is that all for him?
I mean, they put out for everything that they put out like a generic statement afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very canned, but at the same time it was like, you as the fans, this is all your fault, it's not ours.
It's just blaming.
Yeah.
People didn't have a lot of positive things to say about the Star Wars team and their effort on this, really from that start where they accidentally announced the Rancor. It was sort of doomed from the start, and it was really those stretch goals and just lack of excitement over what they put out there. I think really,
of course,
because it got within striking distance. Was it within 500 backers at the end of the day?
It got close, and then I got very nervous because I was like,
nervous?
"Oh man, yeah."
You know what's funny? Like, you heard about people canceling their support, unbacking it. I didn't realize you could do that. How do you go in and cancel it? There's just a button that says cancel.
There must be,
Hasbro should get rid of that. That seems like that's a big problem. I'm really surprised that's even an option.
Like NECA, all things are final on the NECA.
Right,
ones,
exactly. Like, why even give people an option? But I guess that's the trade-off for the not getting charged until later kind of thing. But it didn't happen. But one line that did get funded is the 3 3/4 G.I. Joe Skystriker, which was not on my radar at all. I collected these as a kid. Obviously, most people did, but I'm not still buying them. I don't need new O-ring figures. It's so odd to me that this.
Right.
Not only did they chose to do it, but that it got funded.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think the Skystriker itself, at least in older G.I. Joe iterations, it's existed in many forms. So it's not like it's a new vehicle.
Is it a new sculpt though?
It's completely new. But the extras were pretty cool. I mean, you got the ground. Well, you would have gotten the ground crew if it went all the way. And that was a really long stretch. I think it was 18,000 to get to the ground crew.
Oh yeah.
That it didn't reach. I think it went a little bit over 16,000.
Wow.
But it just seemed
ketchup and mustard, those guys.
Yeah.
I was watching Dan Larson and some of his buddies were doing like a live stream either as it ended or the day before or something. And then they were talking about how awful the stretch goals were for all of these HasLab projects except the G.I. Joe one they liked. Because it's, you got figures. And obviously we've talked about how the Proton pack was tricky to think of stretch goals for. But, that Rancor, that's just going to go down in history as the worst stretch goals that just killed it. Just killed it.
I mean, lesson learned. Just don't pack cardboard in if you're going to ship it in cardboard. Make it part. And a lot of people are saying, comparing what the Proton pack is coming in with that crate, that stylized crate that looks like it's part of the prop, versus what you might potentially be getting with the Rancor, which it's going to be a box, but at least work the cave diorama into it, where you don't necessarily have to keep it as a stretch goal, and it's just part of the package. I mean, almost make it like it's a window box, and then that's the background that you take out.
They must have been getting really desperate for stretch goals to include that as like part of it. Like no one's going to see that and be like, well, now you got my money. Now at this point,
it's like, what's the license cost for Star Wars versus Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
I don't know. Didn't they just pinch every penny
recently?
Like that? They did, but at what price?
You would have thought that they got a better deal because there's just not a lot. Obviously, the last few movies did not perform up to expectations. You would have thought they cut a better deal, but maybe there are so many toy companies capable of taking on the license that they had to outbid McFarlane and Mattel just to keep it, because it's, it started with Kenner. Hasbro absorbed Kenner, so really it's, they've been with it since day one.
They have. I mean, I think we're just seeing Star Wars start to fade
Just fatigue,
as
star fatigue.
as a line. Yeah. So you have to imagine, I mean, it came out so it's going to be 50 in a number of years.
Wow.
6 years.
That's sort of funny, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Over the hill.
And it's like, well, when Star Trek turned 50, I mean, the fandom was there, but
yeah,
you couldn't go out and get like toys for it at the time.
Right.
I think Diamond Select had some. I mean, we know McFarlane dipped his fingers into it a few years back, and he only made 2 figures for it.
Yeah.
And then that was it. So it's just kind of, it's probably just needs to get put away for a little bit or revitalized. I think they're trying to revitalize it with what we got. Because I mean, I'm looking around my room right now, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 Rancors.
Yeah.
Just
and those Power of the Force Rancors, the ones that have the realistic feel skin, those are good. They're just slightly out of scale,
of course,
for the 6-inch line. But come on, use your imagination.
Just use your imagination.
Just pretend they're toys for a second.
I mean, there's a gentleman trying to 3D print one.
Oh yeah.
In that 1/12 scale.
There you go.
And it just amazes me that it's like, well, if you're not happy, I'm going to make my own toy then. It's just a wild world that we're living in right now.
That is the world we're slowly coming into, where you see all these crowdfunding projects for people who want to make their own toys. We had that one for the wrestling referee, which did not do very well at all. But at least they're out there trying to make these things happen. And they could make a couple of them for themselves, so people can have their own toys. And you don't have to sculpt in the physical medium anymore. A lot of sculpting is done digitally, and that is a skill that people can pick up. So maybe you can't sculpt the old traditional way, but you could probably sculpt in a digital format, and then you send that file off to someone to 3D print it, and there you have a toy. And that's pretty much the process that the professional companies are doing. That's all it is.
Yeah. Right.
So Hasbro may be obsolete at some point, and we just it's like when you would trade in the wrestling world, when you would do tape trading. We would record shows and trade the tapes before DVDs were a thing. People may just start trading toys amongst each other.
Okay. Yeah.
But we'll see. I want to
files, because
obviously the failure of the Rancor is sort of a downer story. I just want to inject a little fun into this. I've recently become obsessed with the Mario figures. If I can give him a little.
Yeah.
What
Penguin Mario.
This is Penguin Mario. I love how his head rotates up like this. This is very.
Look
fun.
At that.
Yeah.
Is he another Kohl's purchase?
This one was not from Kohl's. This was from Target, because they have a bunch of stuff, buy 2 get 1 free, and Mario is part of that. This one was from Kohl's. This is actually one of my favorites, the piranha plant, the mouth that opens. So these are made by Jax. Jax did a nice job of balancing articulation with design. All of the sculpts are like perfect, which makes me think that they were given the digital files and that they just went off of those, because they all look so good. So they're on series like 26 or something crazy, this World on Nintendo line. So I went back and I was trying to figure out like which figures were in each line. And it seems like they've done a lot of repeats, and they're going to re-release those figures soon. Okay. So this is actually a good time to start collecting these, because if you can't find some of the figures, they're going to be re-released in the next 2 series. And Walmart's going to have their own series that comes with the accessories, but they're going to be like shiny gold, which is great. So gonna be on the lookout for those
exclusives and Walmart, great things.
Sure. Spoiler alert, you might find this on my top toys of 2021. Just a heads up on that.
Wow,
we got to start working on that list.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about that one. That's gonna be a tough one for me. I don't know what I've even opened in the last 6 months.
I showed this to you last week offline, but look at this, is the Pudgy Pig from Star Wars.
So fun.
And now I have his buddy, Eye Guy.
Aye, senor.
Look at that. These are great. These are
That's wow.
Pudgy Pig definitely gonna be real high on my list, if not number one. Just a fantastic.
It's a lot of fun.
Just
and for like what, $30?
yeah, it's like $30.
30?
Like, and I know those first series of monsters, Peg Warm, they got down to like $10 on Walmart. But I think these are gonna do better. There just seems like there's more to them.
Sure.
So that line's gonna continue. They're gonna do one deluxe Ranger and then one monster to keep it going.
Okay.
But excited for the future of the Power Ranger monsters. It's almost like its own line. It's like you don't have to collect the Rangers; you just want to collect the monsters.
Oh, sure. And some people do that. So
speaking of Power Rangers, they had a fan first Friday? Is that what they brand it? Hasbro does.
Yeah, it's a fan first, whatever day of the week they want to put it on. So usually it's Friday.
Yeah, because the alliteration works better with Friday.
Yes.
They did Zord Ascension Project, which is this, they branded their like larger scale transformable. So like they do Zords for the current series, Dino Charge, Dino, whatever it's called. And those are just put out and they're like with the kids line, they're not Lightning Collection, they're not anything special. Zord Ascension Project is like their high-end collectible line of Zords. Okay. And I don't know that these are going to be in stores. This first one is $165. You can go on Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Hasbro Pulse. But so basically it's the Megazord we all know and love, that we all probably own. If you're a fan, you own a few versions of this. But you were saying that you thought it was a little stylized, which is just sort of how it has to work, because they tried to get the scale of the individual Zords correct, but when they combine in the show, it just becomes a costume, and then the scales, of course, become all over the place. So it does look a little stylized. They gave like rivets to like the chest piece. They definitely added detail to the sculpt.
I feel it's most noticeable with the Tyrannosaurus Megazord.
Yeah, you think so?
He looks thin, as it were.
Yeah.
Like very narrow.
They were saying that they were trying to base it on the original sketches for it. And there's a version of one of them. I feel like it was like an in-between Zord, but that they were very angular, like almost an anime style. So I do wonder if they took inspiration from those sketches to make it a little different. So like I personally was pulling for a line of Zords in the sort of 8-inch scale that would be in scale with the monsters. Sure. I would much prefer that than a like 12-inch or whatever this is. One 1/44th scale, which like I was talking to someone on Twitter. I'm like, this makes no sense, because you can't imagine that in your mind. Like if you do 1/6 scale, you know that the figure is based on a human being who is 6 feet tall. You can divide that up by 6 or 12. I can't do the math. I can't add 144 of these on top of each other. So I just think that's like an abstract kind of thing to even include in the branding. Whatever. I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's obviously like a collector's thing, so we'll see how it goes. I guess it makes sense to start with the most identifiable character, but maybe if they had started, well, then they have that other, like that what it was like, it was another Megazord, like the one that was in the movie. It was still Mighty Morphin, but it was like the next iteration of the Zords. It was it was not transformable, and this is the one you're seeing at Ross and on Entertainment Earth for $20. So that didn't do well. So it's like they're trying a bunch of different things, and this is just the next thing they're trying.
Sure.
But we'll see. I don't know. It's good that they're putting all this effort into the license, because after living with Bandai for however many years it was, where they just like did not give a damn about these toys, at least they have like fans of the line working on the line.
Working it.
So we're getting our Proton pack. We know that. We're getting all of the stretch goals.
Right.
How much time left on this project?
A little over a day, I believe. Yeah.
By the time
26
this airs,
hours. 26 hours.
As of Saturday.
So now the question is, do you buy a second Proton pack?
I think if I was going to, I would have done it right away to get the extra slime.
Oh, fair enough.
Because the slime, and now that I have a stupid Hasbro Pulse membership, the slime was only available if you were a Pulse member, premium Pulse member, and you ordered within like the first 48 hours, something like that.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm not going to, and I may regret it, but I'm sort of banking on them eventually doing another Proton pack that's specific to the first movie.
Sure.
So yeah, so they're at 17,000, so 10,000 more than the base goal of 7,000. So needless to say,
wild.
this Ghostbuster fans really wanted this. I mean, we talked about it before it was even announced. We're like, can they do this? It's so weird to put out the neutrino wand and not have the pack. So I was like, they gotta at least try it. And clearly,
I mean, we were just hoping to get that. We were just hoping to get that hose. That's really all we wanted, was that hose
from the stretch goals. Yeah,
well, from that second stretch goal.
That's another example of that was the first one. Yeah, that's another example of this should have just been included. Like the fact that this was a stretch goal. It's like they were really stretching out what they had to offer.
So with this a success, do you feel like we'll be getting more props from the movies? Do you think we'll be getting like a remote control ghost trap down the line? Do you feel like we'll be getting a PKE meter with the shocking attachment to it? Or
I think they're gonna try, right? I mean, why not?
Ecto goggles with a Polaroid in them.
I definitely want a trap. I don't need it to be a remote control car.
I would prefer the remote control car. I'm looking at my Maddie collector one, and I'm like, it's good.
Yeah,
but it does look cheap. It doesn't look
really.
It does. It does.
Is it weathered?
It's not weathered. It's as clean as can be.
Yeah.
But I was playing with it with the kids. The kids had a blast with it, but it's just like, what could Hasbro do to make this a little bit better, I guess?
I do wonder if they could ever incorporate smoke into the product, because you want to have that light coming out of it, but unless you have the smoke, you're not going to really get the full effect of the beam.
Of course, it's the way they can compress some dry ice, or even like incorporate a small fog machine in it.
Right. I do wonder if there's any, because it's not like these are kids' toys. Like, they don't have to meet the same safety standards.
When I was younger with my cousins, what we would do, so we had the trap, and we weren't collecting money or anything. We would just kind of wander around the streets of Salem taking photos. But we'd have the trap, but we'd have no means of like lighting it so it would smoke, until one year when my cousin got some smoke sticks. As they weren't like incense sticks, these were like flammable. Like they would destroy something and catch something on fire. It was almost like a flare, but all
like
it would
a road flare.
It was almost like a road flare, but it was it was like the size of like sidewalk chalk. And you lit it on fire, and then it would just emit tons of smoke. And then we would just run down the street, and we'd pretend like we had a ghost, and everyone would get out of our way. And it's very theatrical. Nobody understood.
That's what I want. So, that's what
but it was a lot of fun.
I love the trap. It's like one of those, like, just so visually appealing with the caution tape design on top. I 100% think they're going to do more, just because the Proton pack did so well.
And we don't even know. We got 26 hours left. I mean,
do you think they're going to add that?
No. I just mean in terms of quantity purchased.
How high it's going to go? Yeah.
How high is it going to go?
So here's the thing. I think this is the key to these HasLab projects. You have to have something that people can have a reason to buy multiple of. So with the Proton pack, obviously you can have multiple Proton packs because there were 4 in the movie. You can, give them to your kids, whatever. Skystriker, it's a jet. There are multiple jets. That's realistic.
Yes.
The Rancor, there's only one Rancor.
There is only one Rancor.
Kind of, unless you have like a Rancor farm, it doesn't really make any sense to have multiple Rancors. So I think that really limits, the potential in terms of people buying multiple.
Yeah.
So something to think about for future. I'm very curious how this is going over at Hasbro, because people are speculating why they did 3 projects, within like at the same time and, at the end of the year. And somebody made a point that maybe Hasbro was just trying to make up some money because they obviously lost money because they couldn't get product over here because of the shipping delays. So like this was their way to sort of like, not just sort of finesse, massage the numbers, because it's like you got money, but you didn't spend money to make anything yet. Like that'll come later.
Right. So just get in some short-term income, as it were.
Yeah. So it didn't happen, but I'm really curious to see what it's like in those debriefing meetings where they're like, okay, you're fired.
Yeah, massive layoffs announced at Hasbro during Q1 of 2022.
Yeah, I do wonder if there would be any shuffling of the teams, because that is something they do. There was the woman who would run like the Power Ranger Fan Fest things, and she moved over to I don't know where she moved actually, but someone was talking about she's not there anymore. So I do wonder if they shuffle the team. Someone just got promoted within the Star Wars brand. I don't know where. I think he was like already in the Star Wars brand, but I don't know what happened to the guy whose job he took. So I'm, obviously we'll never hear anything about that, but I'm very curious to see like if they're like, okay, what can we learn from this? Or if they're like all pointing fingers at someone. They're probably pointing fingers at Disney and being like, you got to let us make Ula. Because there was that post on Instagram where
it said it's never going to happen.
It's not on the table. Yeah.
It will never be on the table.
But why not?
It's not, but it will never.
Why not tell us that so that people don't, people made t-shirts that said no Ula, no Moolah. Like, be upfront and saying this is not going to happen. Lower those expectations.
Yeah, well, don't blame Hasbro. Blame Disney at that point,
or don't blame anybody. Just realize that this isn't going to happen, and I don't know. Obviously,
call up your buddy with the 3D files and have them 3D print your Ula.
Yeah,
for God's sakes.
Yeah, just take that figure from the Clone Wars or Rebels, whatever, and put that head
Hera
on someone else. Yeah, make your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some fishnets. It's fine. It's not that hard.
Just get what's her name? I forget her name. Ayla Secura. Yeah, just get Ayla Secura. She's a Twi'lek. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Paint her green. Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go.
Easy peasy. How many times when you were a kid and you had the VHS, how many times did you go to that scene and try to pause it at the exact moment? It's like real talk.
I don't think as a kid I realized it was there until the internet warped my mind. So, I think at that point I was already a teenager, so it didn't matter. But yeah,
just go on the internet.
Yeah, and then it was either the internet or the DVD, whatever the case is. Oh man,
simpler times.
Someone was also mentioning that it was just there was no, from Hasbro at least, like press release or any kind of endorsement of the Rancor, that they just were like, here it is.
Yeah. And
then like social media outlets were kind of expected to promote it, but at the same time they were just trashing it.
Yeah. Well,
so it's like it was just counterproductive on both ends because they're not doing anything to promote it.
Did they promote any of them?
I really don't believe they have. I think they rely a lot on the social, because again, ad costs factor into the total cost.
Well, we heard about that.
Obliterate that and just leave it up to the online merchants or the content creators or anything like that, then it's free for them and they can put more money towards the actual product. But
we heard about that with the Mattel Creations ring, because they said that they took money from the ad budget to give us that additional Macho Man. So like that seems like a significant investment. That must have been a lot of money for ad revenue or for ad buys. if Hasbro already isn't putting money into ad buys and all of the money is going into the product, and this is still all we got, and they were charging that much, something is very expensive. And I imagine it's the license.
It's got to be the license, which is just, it's just preposterous. That I mean, and again, it's one of those, oh, if you don't like the cost, we'll just go somewhere else.
And that's what people did.
Coming from like Disney. It's like, oh, you don't like the costs that we're attaching to creating your Black Series figures or your 3 3/4 inch vintage line, then we'll see if Mattel wants it, or Mego. Maybe
Mego. Mego should do it. Then everything would come full circle.
No, don't do it.
Oh my God. We would just see Star Wars hanging.
Be a cold day in hell.
We just see a few figures hanging on the Walmart collector section in electronics for the Mego.
Exactly.
That would be the entire footprint for Star Wars. Oh my God.
What are they what kind of, so I've seen it that like Mego does this, like you can purchase for like 1 week. Who do they have that through? Have you seen that?
What? Like rent toys? What are you talking about?
You don't rent the toys, but they've got like a 1 week grace period where you can purchase to produce specific figures. And I'm trying to remember.
What the hell are you talking about? who can purchase what to produce what? You can buy the license for a week?
No, not the license, but like they have like an open pre-order. But I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they kind of did it like 3 months ago, where they would put out 2 figures, and it was an open pre-order, and then after that they wouldn't produce them.
Oh, I don't know. For what line?
They were, I think, some horror, some other random.
Where do you even get Mego news? I don't see them mentioned anywhere.
I think it's in the classifieds in the newspaper.
It was funny because they had that promotion for Spider-Man this week where they had the Daily Bugle, like a physical copy you could get.
Okay.
And people are like, see, Prince's not dead. Like, okay. There you go.
Oh, man. Are you going to be seeing Spider-Man No Way Home?
I probably will because my mom's here. So my wife and I can actually go see it together.
How long is she down?
Through next weekend.
Oh, nice.
So Friday is my birthday, and also the day Spider-Man comes out. So
yeah,
maybe I'll make that happen. Yeah, I'm not super excited for it.
I asked my brother because he was like, "Oh, when can we go?" And I was like, 10 o'clock at night on Thursday if you're interested. And he's like, "I've got to work at 8." And I'm like, "Okay."
Take a nap.
Yeah.
Is that the first show they do on Thursday, or do they do it earlier?
No, they're doing one at 3, and I missed out.
Oh, it's sold out?
It's to capacity, so.
You know, I didn't even think about that it might. Maybe I should look into that now. I probably should have planned better for this, but
yeah.
There's got to be like 2 seats.
You know what's gonna happen. I mean, everyone's been talking about it. I just want to get it over with before all the spoilers come out.
That's what you want. That's what you want in a movie. You just want to get it over with, like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to deal with it. Be like, oh, so-and-so, can you believe so-and-so was in here? And just in on Screen Rant, so-and-so confirmed. And it's like, no, I don't want to deal with that.
What was that movie website we used to always go to? And then like the main guy like turned out to be a creep. It's like, ain't it cool news? Is that it?
Oh yeah.
That used to be like the go-to
90s and early 2000s staple.
They would always get to go to like Star Wars. They would like tour the set and stuff, and then they would be like, "This is gonna be the best Star Wars ever." And then it's episode 1. It's like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Do you even understand what good is?
Oh man, that was a sight to go to.
Oh
he
yeah,
did big time.
Yeah. I don't know. He popped up on Facebook. I'm one of those like people you might know, and I was like, oh, I forgot all about this guy. He is as weird looking as he seems to be in real life. Jesus.
I think he hit his peak when he was in the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, he got to be in a movie. Good for him.
Yeah, he was a severed head.
That seems about right.
But he was in trouble even before that because he started a Kickstarter.
Yeah, and then just kept up.
Was it Harry Knowles? Yeah, and then Harry Knowles.
What a name!
And they were like, I know, right? But yeah, I know he started that Kickstarter for that show that he was doing, and then people were wondering, based on the production, like where their money went.
Sure.
Everyone always wants to know where their money goes.
Where's my money?
Where's
my money?
You mean that's it?
Speaking of money, Dollar Tree, now the $1.25 tree.
Yeah.
I experienced this for the first time this week because I found the Final Faction figures, the new ones there.
Right.
I feel like the figures were like the designs are more interesting than the first series, but the quality, they just feel so cheap, and obviously they are cheap, they're $1.
Sure.
But it's just like, I don't want to play with them or hold them. I don't know. It's like, it's a novelty that this line exists, but I don't like them. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's sort of like catch-22. It's like, yeah, these are super cheap. Oh, that's cool. But they're like super crappy. I'm like, well, that's not as cool.
Did you get the dog?
I got the dog. I actually got 2 of him.
Dang, I haven't seen these.
I'll send you one. I think that's a pretty unique figure because it comes with a robot
break
dog
in the mail,
and then you can put, it comes with like the actual dog, like a little Chihuahua, and you can put him inside of the robot dog.
Oh, that's fun.
So it's like there's some good design there. It's just the production quality is so poor, and
I want to get my hands on the vehicle.
So. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I want to get my hands on that.
Yeah,
but my mother's on the lookout for these because she knows what they look like. So I can't buy them until either Christmas or after. If I see them,
so you can put it in your stocking.
Potentially, yeah. I might crumple it into pieces and put it in my stocking and be like, "Oops."
Last week you talked about the zombies, the zombie Legos they had Dollar Tree. So these are another Lego. This was not Dollar Tree. This is Five Below. The Ninja Turtles. They have 2 sets. One is Raphael, and he comes with the cheapskate.
Yeah.
This is what this looks like, and then the other one is Michelangelo, and he comes with like a little pizza place, pizza oven.
Yes,
these are fun. Only $5. Can get on board with that. The figure is pretty good quality. The only really annoying joint is the legs come off. There's no tension there at all.
Yeah, it came right off.
If you try to put his leg up or something, but the other parts are pretty good. He actually came with an extra hand. So,
wow,
not like it's a different pose or anything. It's just like they put an extra hand in by mistake. So $5. I hope they do the other 2 turtles because that's
of course
sort of annoying if they only have the 2. But
right, yeah, no, I came across those last week and I was like, oh, only 2? Well, that's not worth it. And just kept going.
You got to sport them now, and then they'll make the other 2 later.
Fair enough.
These are one of those things where it's like, I definitely don't need this. I'm just buying this. Like, I'm gonna enjoy this for 5 minutes and then I'll lose it. They're just like, I'm not gonna display this 20 years from now. This is just to have, just to be like, I want to buy a toy. Okay, here's a toy.
I want to buy it. I want to build it. It's $5 worth of building, and then call it quits.
The enjoyment you get out of building it is worth the $5, and then you can just throw it in the trash. Yeah.
Has your Mutagen Man and Ace Duck shipped yet?
No, I didn't get a shipping notice for them yet.
Oh, it must be in Q4 then.
No, we have 2 weeks, 3 weeks left in Q4.
Yep.
I haven't seen a ton of people.
This is the one I missed.
Getting it.
This is the one I missed. So I went to Target tonight and I immediately left. It was scary to be in there. Oh my God.
I went today as well, and I went to one of the busier areas that's in one of those fancy strip malls, and I had a cart because I had the my older son with me, and it wasn't too bad. It's hard when there's 2 carts in the toy aisle just because they don't really fit, and then people aren't paying attention to you, so you have to be like, excuse me, or you try to be like, oh, I'm just trying, or I'm talking to the kid oh, I'm just trying to get through here, not addressing the people in your way, just trying to say it loud enough that they catch it. But yeah, not great. I try to go to Target when I drop off the kid in the morning for daycare, so it's pretty light in the morning, so that's a nice time to just see if anything has changed. And this last week, it's nothing, nobody bought anything, nobody moved anything from the toy aisle. It's kind of weird. I don't know if people are waiting to the last minute or they've already bought their stuff.
Oh my goodness, if mine looked bad before the holidays, it looks disgusting right now.
Just destroyed.
It's destroyed.
Mm. I'm sure January 1st it'll just magically be perfect again.
Oh, of course.
No, that's like the worst time. Is like when does the store even start to look remotely stocked again?
Right.
Like
it's like
March,
such a dry
April?
spell. Yeah, you're
it gets real
looking by like late February and then into April, and it starts looking a little bit better.
Because there's something about they want to have less product on hand for tax purposes, so it's like they don't even try to stock the shelves. Yeah, it's gonna be a barren wasteland. But you do get those nice clearance sales, so that's a reason to go at least.
If anything's left, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like they have a lot of exclusives this year, so I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the Ghostbusters on clearance. I don't think we're gonna get much more at retail, so I feel like that line could go. Not saying it will, but I never saw the kids in the cartoon line. Never saw the kids at retail.
I bought all mine from Amazon.
You got all 4 of the kids?
I did, yes.
Oh, I haven't seen. I only have the 2 that went up super early. I haven't seen the other 2. I need those.
I found Phoebe. It was listed as a may arrive by or please wait 1 to 2 weeks, but it was for cost, and now it's like $30. And I was like, oh, I got it. So, and I got Trevor. He is gigantic. The kids are huge. Yeah. You mentioned it with compared to the original Ghostbusters. Man, they are like egg.
That's so weird.
It is.
The mini puffs are back on there to order, but they're not going to be delivered until next year. So I ordered a couple. I have
to see when mine are going to ship because I got into those early.
Yeah.
So let me check my Amazon.
Yeah, all of the Fright Features figures are like $20 on there right now. Like none of them are sold through Amazon.
No.
But you get all the
now arriving December 20th.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, we'll see.
Good luck with that. Did you
What do I get all of?
You can get all of the the 4 Ghostbusters at stores. Like those are easy to come by. But I've never seen the kids. I've never seen the kids at retail. So
no.
They
won't make it. They'll be at Ollie's and Five Below, and you'll see them there.
So, I guess that's fine if you're patient. Yeah,
just wait.
You got your Ecto-1 popcorn bucket from the theater. You didn't have to go through AMC.com. So I ordered it from AMC.com, but I got it like after the fact when it's a pre-order. If you were one of the first 80 people to order it, you got yours signed by Dan Aykroyd, and those are starting to ship. People are starting to get it, and it's actually signed on the hood of the Ecto, which is really nice. I mean, that's really cool that they did that.
It is. I have a couple Aykroyd signatures just from meeting him the few times that I did. It's not really the greatest. Like you have to be like, who signed this again?
I do.
He's got one of those illegible signatures.
I feel like too many people like do the signature circuit now, and they have such a quick signature.
Oh, sure.
And because they just got to get through them because so many people are online, and it's just it's sort of ruined. Not that I ever was a signature collector, but I think it's like I wouldn't get into it now because everybody's signature is so trash.
The speaking of AMC, all the other product that they were offering for the Ghostbusters movie is now on clearance through their website.
Oh, like in bundles, stuffed animals.
The stuff. So you can get the 3 stuffed characters, 2 T-shirts, and I believe the blanket for $64 instead of $120.
Ooh, yeah, that's half price.
Yes.
I kind of want to do that. That seems like a kind of
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the 2 T-shirts, that's like $20 right there.
And then the 3 stuffs are $25 together.
Yeah. And you get a nice comfy blanket.
These are nice shirts. Is this in stock? Yeah, it says it's in stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the shirt because it's just like the plain logo. You get 2 hats?
Oh, yeah, and 2 hats.
And a blanket? I'm going to absolutely do this. Yes, 100%. I want this. I wonder if it has my card saved.
Oh, I should get it then, too.
I mean, why not?
I was thinking about it. I was like,
I'm trying to do it right now as we talk. Let's see if all my
wow.
information is saved. Did I add it to cart? This is what happened last time. I kept having to sign in and add things.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Deals
great.
are still going. Deals are still going throughout the week for all the major e-tailers. Marvel Legends.
Oh yeah, like
G.I.
those...
Joe, Black Series, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, shipping is $20.
Oh, F that.
That's kind of a lot.
That just killed that. I'm not doing. I wouldn't do that. No.
I'm trying to think. Then it becomes $85 or almost $85
Oh,
for 3 figures, 2 t-shirts. Yeah, you can get the t-shirt for like $20. Yeah, it's not worth it when you factor in shipping.
no.
Why not give free shipping?
Damn
This is so silly. It doesn't need to be $18. All these things are so light.
That's true. Forget that. You won't miss it. Don't worry.
Other thing I got this week, the shiny, sparkly Rangers finally came in from Hasbro.
Oh my goodness, I can barely look at those.
So these are great. These are great because they updated the helmets on the ones that were bad.
Oh, look at that!
So
Nice.
It actually looks really good now, which makes me mad that they couldn't get that sculpt right from the start. But obviously they're going to redo Mighty Morphin a bunch of times, so they will include that in the next one. I'm hoping they get the no pin, the invisible pin.
Oh, the pinless
technology, yeah, because that is a little distracting, especially on the ones where it's a different color.
I'm looking at that now, and I'm like, if it has it, I'm like, I'm not interested anymore.
If it has a pinhole,
if it's come this far, I don't expect any of the figures now to have pins, or at least pins that are visible.
Oh yeah, the Pudgy Pig doesn't have pin. Eye Guy doesn't have pin. Jurassic Park figures don't have pins.
Oh, look at that, Ray Arnold there.
Ray Arnold.
Is that Ray Arnold?
It is. His computer. Okay. His computer is hollow.
Hollow.
I realized this. It's hollow inside, which I don't know. That I didn't like that. I thought it was a solid piece.
It's really funny that you didn't like that.
It's like a bath toy to me now that it's hollow. But it's kind of cool. I mean, it'll be good for figure photography if you want a little scene where
an old style early 90s monitor and hard drive there.
Well, that's when I think all of these things happen. Like it's perpetually Twisted Toy Fair Theater and POF 2, like that 90s stuff. Like that's when action figures were alive and talking to each other. They wouldn't do that now.
No.
There's no reason to be in the same place. They'd just be talking on their phones or something, or on Zoom.
Right.
I also got the Jetta Trooper.
Oh yes,
the only new figure on the shelves. So it's basically just the Stormtrooper. It has that pauldron, like the Sand Trooper. He doesn't have the traditional Stormtrooper blaster, which is sort of annoying. Probably accurate to the movie, but still, I feel like you got to throw that in there.
He's got the patrol rifle.
Yeah. So I just love that mold so much. I'm just going to buy everyone.
It's a great one.
I see.
It's a great one.
It's just great. I don't think they'll ever update it because it's perfect. I don't know what you could do.
You can't do much.
What more could you do?
Anything. You really can't. I don't think I got much this week. Yeah. I've really been trying to buy for everyone else, which has been tough because I don't know what anyone really needs. But I did pre-order the everyone what?
Everyone should have an Amazon wish list like we do.
That's true.
Go into the description of this episode and see what we want and then buy it for us. It's easy peasy.
There we go. At least see what we're all about.
Yeah. Buy it for us.
But yeah, I picked up the those deluxe Mandalorian packs that Walmart was carrying.
For the 3 3/4?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exciting enough.
But you didn't get the spider
today? I did.
Oh, you did.
It's popped up. It's popped up a couple of times, so I got that one.
There you go.
What was in the mailbox was the droids C-3PO from Target.
Oh,
came.
I don't know why I thought that had been delayed. Somebody had posted a picture.
No, he came early. The mail carrier, I think, was a little agitated with us, given that she had put the whole box into our tiny mailbox, plus all of our letters and everything else, because we're not that great at getting our mail because we don't care.
So you leave multiple days in there?
I leave at least a week sometimes.
Get out of here. You can't do
that. I don't care. Why?
Go get your mail.
It's all junk. It's all junk.
You're gonna get dinged up boxes now. You can't make the mail people mad at you.
Okay.
Just put like a trash can right by your mailbox. And you drop it off as soon as you get in there.
It's just like a nice recycling bucket.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? They should do that, and then that way the mail carrier sees exactly what they're doing.
They don't care.
I know they don't.
Junk mail is like one of the biggest industries because even if 1% of the people respond, that's still like that's enough. It's worth it because it's so cheap to send it out because you send it in bulk.
Sure. It's just the amount that my wife just threw right into the recycling bin.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, it'll become more junk mail. It gets recycled.
Exactly. Yeah, I get that. So yeah, not a lot this week. I'm looking around. I found Tigatron for the Kingdom line
at Walmart.
Out. Yes,
because I haven't seen them. I don't even know that Target still carries those because I haven't seen anything new there in a while. They do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think at least for the first season, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Representing Beast Wars because I think season 2 they got into the fusers and transmetals.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's going to be any more of these?
Well, so Pterosaur is coming from Amazon, and he was labeled differently under not so much
not
Kingdom
Earthrise
line,
or whatever.
Not Earthrise, no. So I'm trying to think if there was anyone else. That seems like so long ago and such a disappointment of what it actually was and so much hype we put around it. Is that
the show was bad? Yeah.
The show, yeah.
It wasn't even so much that it was bad. It was just so not what we wanted or expected.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if they just did something differently with that Megatron voice, it would have been...
That would have been a start.
That would have been, yeah.
But even like the characterizations were wrong. Like Megatron's not a groveling character, and
he's not.
Optimus wasn't
not
like overbearing.
Not in any form.
No,
right.
It was weird. It
so
was bad.
I think if as soon as Pterosaur comes, I think that's where I'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any more after that. At least I can't think of any. Are there any other Predacons from season 1? Waspinator, Megatron, Pterosaur, Scorponok.
The spider.
Yes, Tarantulas.
Yeah.
Gotta get Tarantulas.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for the Black Arachnia repaint to make Tarantulas.
Ugh, could you imagine?
Well, that's what they used to do. That's what Black Arachnia was.
Yeah, but it went the other way. She was a repaint of.
She was, yeah, exactly. She was the repaint, but still.
You're gonna make Tarantulas with the feminine body.
Yes, I mean, I'm not gonna do it. Hasbro is going to do it.
I want them to do Transmetals because the Tarantulas Transmetal is one of my favorite figures. He has like the tricycle wheel in front.
Yes.
That was great. Some of those Transmetals are really fun toys. Like as stupid as that concept was.
Well, they were triple changers. So you had your beast form, your vehicle form, and then your robot form.
That is true. That was very correct.
Yes.
Yeah, all of the. I'm looking at it now. That Megatron was great. The Optimus with the skateboard was kind of silly, but it wasn't bad. Cheetor was good. Yeah. Rat Trap was great. Rat Trap was one of the best ones.
Rat Trap was excellent. Rhinox didn't really.
2. No, yeah. Rhinox because he didn't do it in the show. The ones that ended up in the show were good.
Right. Yeah. Pterosaur, he looked kind of. Yeah,
I don't even see him. Yeah. So
next week, is it a top 10 of 2020?
Is that next week already?
Are we going to do that? Because, no,
we got to do it after the show Christmas.
After. Okay, then we'll have to do it after Christmas.
So we'll record it on the 25th or whenever.
Oh my God.
We're going to record on Christmas. Sorry, family.
Nothing stops this show.
No.
I want to be half in the bag that night. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Those are the best shows when you are. Yeah, so we'll do like Pop 21 or something, or we'll figure out like some gimmick way to do it. But
the top 21 of 21.
Ooh. Yeah. Anything else for this week?
No, I'll talk to you about some stuff afterwards.
Oh, there's a tease for.
Meat on the bone there.
If you made it all the way to the end of the show.
Only for
Now
Bill to tease you with the interesting
we're gonna talk
stuff.
about the interesting stuff, but you can't see it. Yeah.
This is stuff that you have to pay through your Patreon to hear.
Oh, that's right. Someday. get those YouTube hits up first, and then we'll talk about that.
Reluctant Adult Podcast Unplugged,
uncensored. It's up all night.
All night. Yes.
Reluctant Adult up all night. All right, everybody. You know what we say? We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Your video froze, so I hope that was good timing. It always does that though. Does my video freeze too on yours?
No, you're just blurry.
Yeah, you're blurry too, but that's not indicative of obviously of how the product.
No, everything always looks crisp.
All right, let's do our. There you are. Let's do some